Hello and welcome to this B1 Usability Package e-learning session. My name is Rasmus Wolf Jensen and the topic of this session is B1 time task, where we'll be looking into the task on sales orders. Please note that it's recommended that you see the session task business partner prior to this session, as many of the fields described in that session will not be repeated in this session. In the previous session, we made the following task to the business partner regarding a SAP installation. But in some cases, you might want to have the flow of business one into the system, and you might want to say a SAP installation actually consists of underlying steps. You could of course make multiple tasks, but as a single entity of the data, it would be a little hard to work with. So let's try to get rid of the task and see if we instead had a sales order on our same SAP installation, but we had it split out into 4 sections: installation of the server, installation of SAP, data conversion, and some training. It's just made up quantities and unit prices just for the sample. So tasks on a sales order are initiated from the sales order itself. What you need to do is you need to add your sales order and afterwards right-click the line you want to turn into a task. So if I right-click here, you will see I have the option say link line to task. If I do this, it will auto create me a task with some default values and the rest for me to fill out. As a name, it suggested the description of the item, the connection type was sales order, and the connection was my sales order. The customer is again the same, and the budget hours was the 5 coming from our quantity. For date, it took along our date for expected billing date. And one note on this is the dates on the sales order actually have meaning on when you need to bill them later on. So if the date is not yet met, it's a date prior to this, it will not come along into the sales order. That's the difference between the business partner version, where the dates does not matter at all, while in the sales order you have the delivery dates where you can automatically control when something comes along. Just like in the business partner, we have the option to take hourly rates, fixed price, or not billable. If it's hourly rates, we'll just say that and it will automatically use the item from the system, so we don't need to define an item. Similar to fixed price, it will automatically take the price of the line, in this case 3,000, and place along. So the sales order is controlling the data and not the task. Again, we have the option to do transportation. In our case, let's just not have transportation, but again, it will be a complete option to do. And in the previous, we had a billing format. That is not the case in sales orders because it will always do summarization. Again, the dates, again, it's up here, but it's the one actually on the sales order that is controlling when you can actually bill. Task type, again, for categorization, while the profit center and project is not here because it will be taken from the sales order line. Again, internal and external remarks can be done. And again, the overall controller of what the task can do is the task status, where we again, let's say it's ready for billing as soon as someone actually builds something. In this case, it wouldn't really make sense, so it would make more sense to say not ready for billing because it's the fixed price whenever we are done with the project. Same rules applies for description and employees. In this case, let's say that everyone are able to log on this. So let's add it. And once we go back and forward on the sales order, you will now be able to see that it's now linked to task number 9 that we just created. And if you want a task for the installation of SAP, you can do the same. And you have the option either to link it to the same task. In this case it wouldn't make sense, but you have the option saying that multiple lines are to the same task, or we can create an entire new one and get our data in. If you for some reason want to remove the link again, you can again right click and say remove link to task. And the link will be broken and you can link it to another task if you want to. This concludes this session. For training material, please go to service.boyum-it.com/education, or if you want a free demo of the product, go to license.boyum-it.com/b1up. If you want to contact us, you can do it either by our sales email or our support email. Thank you for attending.